Hey everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And this time last month, we had my buddy Chris Naugle here. Yeah, I know. He dropped some very not so pleasant tasting information on our finances and our economy that's going on and that is coming. But he promised to come back and share a few tips. So guess what? He's here. So get your pen and paper out because you're going to want to take notes on this one. Sit right there. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. Yeah, you heard me right. My buddy Chris is here. He's going to help us out again because, hey, this economy is no joke. Chris, are you out there?
How are you?
I'm good. Well, kind of. I mean, when you come in the building lately, it's been kind of like, what's he going to do? What's he going to say now? I'm a little nervous, dude.
Well, let's try to brighten it up this time. But, sometimes you just got to, punch people in the face. And I don't mean that in a literal way. I just mean sometimes people need the truth, and regardless of how much the truth hurts, they need it.
Exactly.
And that's what we did last time.
That's what we did last time. And that's what, I lean on you for because I trust your judgment and I definitely consider you a friend. And it's like, if I'm going to find out what's coming next in this economy, in this financial world, I'm calling Chris. Okay, so we took the Band-Aid off. Now let's apply the antibacteria so they can heal a little bit. What tips you got?
Yeah, so last time we talked, I gave the tip of paying down debts, making sure you don't go into this recessionary period and these hard times with debt, because that's going to crush people. But what we didn't address is with their current assets. A lot of people, I think something like $44 trillion sits in retirement accounts, commonly known as 401ks and IRAs. And a lot of people are getting their statements, looking at it, going, oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't get any worse. And you know what? It's going to get a lot worse. But the good news is since the last show, we've had a little up in the market. Now, that isn't news that people should be excited about, but it gave them a little breathing room because Warren Buffett says it best. He says to make money in the markets, what you have to do is you have to buy low and you have to sell high. And if you do that, you won't lose money. But most people buy into temptation and FOMO and they buy high because that's when it feels good to buy. But then when the market goes down, they sell low and they're almost certain to lose money. But here's the piece of advice with their 401ks. And listen, I'm not giving financial advice, not making any suggestions. I'm just giving best practices here. When you look at your 401k, if you're already down 20 or whatever percent you're down, you're just thinking, I can't lose any more. Well, then do something about it. If that's your thing, if you can't take on any more risk and you can't afford any more losses, then cut it. Because that's going to be your only way, because it is going to go a lot lower. And that's going to be an opportunity I'll talk about on the flip side. But you have to look at your current assets and say, if you can't lose any more money, then find safe places for it. In all 401ks, there's always a conservative option. A lot of times there's money markets or cash options or fixed options. That's your safety, right? So that's your lifeboat. Move your assets into that and just wait for a little bit, right? Because if the market's going to go lower, what did I say earlier? Buy low. Then we can always reposition that money back in at lower times. You're never going to know where the bottom is, and you're never going to know where the top is. But you can dollar cost average on the way down, and that is the strategy. As you're putting new money in every paycheck, don't stop that, because if the market's going down, that's what you want to do. You want to keep buying into it and keep putting into whatever you've been putting into that you were, that fits your needs. That's a really good piece of advice. And I know a lot of advisors, I was one for 16 years, are telling you, oh, this is just a paper loss. Don't worry. You're in this for the long haul. Let me explain something to you. The long haul, yes, that is correct. But that's like 20 years. And I'll tell you this right now, your emotion will get the better part of you inside of that. If the market slips another 30, maybe even 40%, which is highly probable, okay, can you handle that? Because you don't want to lose that. Because if you lose 50% or 40%, you have to 50%, you got to make 100 just to get back to 50. If you lose 40, you got to make 63% back just to get your 40 back. It's called the drawdown effect. Look it up. That's what playing the long game is. I'm not saying it's bad for everybody, but if it's not in your plans to lose money and wait all these years to get it back, then play the safe game. Find shelter in those conservative assets that are in your 401k or assets, and move your positions into those in the time being while it gets worse and worse, and then slowly start buying back. And that's some great advice.
Yeah, that is some great advice. And then it makes me think, what about the young people? What about the people that are just getting started? They don't have 401ks, you know, they've got thousands of dollars of credit card debt and student loans. And they're going, I'm just getting started, man. I just got my first, corporate job, or I just launched my first business right in the middle of this. What about them? Do they have any hope? What should they do?
Yeah, actually more hope than the rest, because if you're just getting started, like, the world's yours. The canvas is blank. A lot of people are focusing right now, oh my God, I got all this student loan debt, but the government's going to pay it off. That's the wrong attitude. Stop thinking that people are going to take care of your debts and your responsibilities. They're yours. They're not going to pay them off. It's stopped in the Supreme Court. You can't put people's personal debt on taxpayers, and you're going to see that play out over the next couple of years. So don't think that everybody else is going to save you. They're not. But here's what you do. If you're brand new, start buying in. Like, if you're not putting money into the markets, like, this would be a good time to start putting a little bit every week or every month in, because you're going to start buying down. And that's where you make a lot of money. Now, the other thing, if you're looking at starting a business or you're just starting in your career, I got the best piece of advice ever for you. Do more than everybody else. If you work for somebody else, work harder than everybody else, solve bigger problems than everybody else. Stop complaining. Stop trying to be the norm. If the guy next to you does X, do double what he does, and watch how fast you climb the totem pole. And even if you get laid off because, hey, maybe the company slows down, you will be the most desirable employee that somebody else will hire for more money. You see, this is the time when you get to shine, because everybody else is being lazy. They don't want to work. Go in hot. Go in as the person that wants to conquer the world every day, and don't listen to the noise or anyone else. Take over and gain market share right now, whether it's in your business, somebody else's business. This is how you become the next CEO.
I love this guy. Now, I know there are people out there like, I'm a boomer. There's boomers everywhere, millions and millions of boomers. A lot of them had their lives shifted when COVID hit because they were forced into retirement, or their job was phased out, or whatever. And so they made it through that. And now they're like, wait a minute, Chris, hold on. I'm going into my senior years, my golden time. What do I do? How do I, maybe do I start another business? Is it too late for me? What do you suggest?
Well, I always say, look at your assets. I mean, are you in a position where you can take your foot off the accelerator? And chances are, no, you're not. So unfortunately, even though you're a boomer, you've worked most of your life, you put in your good years, this is the time also for you to take some market share back, because all the other people that are thinking the opposite way, they're not doing it. I know you're tired. I know you don't want to do it, but do it, because this last little sprint, and I'm going to call it a sprint, in your life and right up to retirement will be the most productive and the most successful out of all of them. But if you sit back and say, oh, I don't want to work as hard, I just want to retire, this will be the worst time right now to retire if you don't have sufficient assets.
Wow. Okay. So you shared with me when we were offline that you have a new project going on. Can you give us a couple of cookies? What's going on with you, dude?
So just like we talked about with the other people, I saw a massive opportunity, and I saw a massive opportunity to solve a world problem. Okay, let's just start with the US, a United States problem. I've been on two sides of the coin. Let's picture a coin. There's two sides. There's heads and tails. Okay. That means in the world, there's only two types of people when it comes to money. There's people that have money and people that need money. Okay, people that have money have a single solitary problem. They want to make more money. People that need money to make more money. So what I did is I established that this whole problem looks a lot like a dating site. Okay, if you will, it looked a lot like Tinder. So I created a dating site that brings people with money together with people that need money in a very cool membership platform called Private Money Club. And it literally is the dating site for money. Now, today, it does commercial real estate. So anybody that has a real estate investor and needs money, you can post your deals, and people that have money can come in as private investors, and they can be their own bank, BYOB, and they can lend on these deals in an open platform where we don't get in the middle, just like a dating site. So I've created this, but you know what? Bezos got his start selling books online, and look at him go now. I'm starting in real estate, but in the future, I promise you, I will change the way money works forever, but it starts right now at privatemoneyclub.com.
That's wild. Okay, I know we didn't ask you to come back but you'd come back all the time. You got to come back soon, and we got to go deep on that. That's amazing. I'm from the south side of Chicago. BYOB meant a whole nother thing on the south side of Chicago. But tell them how they can find you, where they can get connected with you, and if they're looking for money or want to invest in projects, how do they do that?
Yeah,
how do they connect?
Just check Private Money Club out there, going to privatemoneyclub.com. I mean, you just go there, create a free profile where you can window shop it before you become a paid member, or just to check out all my videos, just go to Chris Naugle, Naugle.com, and everything's on there. My YouTube channel is packed full of videos.
Brother, I thank you. I always learn something new with you. And it's just, you open the financial eyes of, for everybody that I know. We love seeing you. Every time we see you at an event, we go, okay, what's he going to tell us this time? And it's always valuable, always valuable. Thank you for always delivering.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you're the best. All right, everybody, you know what to do. One, if you missed the websites and all that, go to Tigo Direct, type in Chris, type in Naugle, type in finance, type in BYOB, because that's going to be there too. And you'll be able to connect directly with him. Hey, if you missed this episode, if you came in the middle, go back. Better yet, go back to last month, watch that, then watch this month, because it's really going to help you in the coming year and the coming years. As always, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll come back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time. We're getting Chris back.